Nnamdi Kanu's case is an international case. It's not just a Nigerian matter, because people in America, people in other parts of the world, even beyond America, are also paying attention to judicial system as Nigerians keep disgracing themselves in this matter. Lawyers in America, lawyers in other nations are also watching what is going on, and at the right time they will speak. This lawyer, Bruce Fein, from the US American government lawyer, has already issued, he wrote a letter recently on 28th to TINUBU, to OMOTOSHO, concerning this Nnamdi Kanu's matter. It's something that just happened. Many people don't yet know about it, but here in Noble Media, we're bringing you that issue because, of course, America is paying rapt attention to whatever TINUBU is doing to Nnamdi Kanu, whatever OMOTOSHO is deciding on Nnamdi Kanu's case. So this guy is the American lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu. Let's look at what happened. Nnamdi Kanu's United States of America lawyer, Bruce Fein, writes Justice OMOTOSHO demands dismissal of charges against IPOB leader for lack of jurisdiction. For lack of jurisdiction, the same thing Nnamdi Kanu has stood upon. A lawyer over there in America is saying the same thing, echoing the same thing. Let's now look at the news in details. If you have not liked this video, click on like. Bruce Fein, the United States Council to the 10 leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has written to Justice James OMOTOSHO of Nigeria's Federal High Court in Abuja, demanding the dismissal of all charges against the IPOB leader on grounds of lack of jurisdiction. This is a major ground. You see this ground where Nigerian court doesn't have jurisdiction because of the way they even kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, tortured him, extraordinarily rendition him into Nigeria against international laws. Both Nigerian law and international law speak against it. So Nigeria committed a crime in the way they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and brought him to Nigeria, therefore meaning that they do not have jurisdiction to even entertain his matter in any court in Nigeria. In a letter dated October 28, 2025, entitled Dismissal of Prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu for Lack of Jurisdiction, Fein argued that the Nigerian government should not benefit from what he described as its own criminality in the process that led to Kanu's rendition to Nigeria. So Buhari's government that orchestrated the kidnapping and bringing Nnamdi Kanu into Nigeria did not plan it well. They made a major mistake, and because of that, any court, any lawyer, any court trying to jail Nnamdi Kanu is committing further crime. No government should profit from its own criminality. This is what this American lawyer is educating OMOTOSHO. That has been Biden law from time immemorial. Fein wrote, invoking the principle that justice is the foundation of government and civil society, something that the Nigerian government often doesn't want to obey. Justice, no matter whether it's a son of a rich man or a son of a poor man, justice is the foundation of any sane and a society that wants to move forward. Citing the 1928 opinion of United States Supreme Court Justice Louis D. Brandeis on Osteen versus United States, Fein emphasized that governments undermine the rule of law when they themselves break it, as Nigeria is doing. In a government of laws, the existence of the government will be imperiled if it fails to observe the law scrupulously. Our government is the potent, omnipresent teacher. For good or for ill, it teaches the whole people by its example. Crime is contagious. If the government becomes a lawbreaker, if Nigerian government becomes a lawbreaker like they are doing in Nnamdi Kanu's case, it brings contempt for law. It invites every man to become a law unto himself. It invites anarchy. Please, somebody come under the comment on this video and type, Biafra must not die. Biafra cannot die. Therefore, TINUBU, this is the time, releasing Nnamdi Kanu immediately. Dismiss this case against Nnamdi Kanu. Please, somebody, If you are bold enough, type it in the comment section. To declare that in the administration of the criminal law, the end justifies the means. To declare that the government may commit crimes in order to secure the conviction of a private criminal would bring terrible retribution. Fein quoted from Joseph Brendia's ruling. Fein argued that both the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, this is very, very important, that both this American lawyer is saying that both the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention and Nigerian courts have recognized that the federal government committed multiple crimes. That the federal government of Nigeria, once that is this APC government that arrested Nnamdi Kanu through Buhari and now being sustained by TINUBU, they committed multiple crimes in bringing Nnamdi Kanu into Nigerian custody in the first place, including kidnapping, torture, and extraordinary rendition. Even Kenya themselves have come out to wash their hands and say that the way Nnamdi Kanu was treated in Kenya was very, very unlawful, and they awarded him damages. I think they said they will pay him about 10 million Kenyan shillings. According to this American lawyer, Bruce Fein, this constitutes just a cogent crimes under international law. Offense is so grave that no state can lawfully commit them, and therefore strip Nigerian courts of any jurisdiction to continue prosecuting Kanu. That because of this, you know, nations are governed by laws. It's not by the whims and caprices of the people in power. It's not what you wake up and say you want to do this, you want to pardon this person. No. The actions of the president, the actions of the governor, the actions of every single citizen has already been dictated by the law. So you cannot come to Nnamdi Kanu's own case and turn it around and turn blind eye. Please, if you are watching this video, help us to type TINUBU, stop being stubborn. TINUBU, be bold enough and release Nnamdi Kanu. TINUBU, be courageous enough and release Nnamdi Kanu. TINUBU, be courageous enough to release Nnamdi Kanu. He cited paragraph 107 of the United Nations Working Group's July 20, 2022 opinion, which directed the Nigerian government to grant the immediate unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. Fein further warned Justice OMOTOSHO that continuing warning, this one is warning. You know how Donald Trump people behave. Fein further warned Justice OMOTOSHO that continuing the case would implicate the court in the alleged illegalities of Kanu's rendition. So, if OMOTOSHO doesn't want to be implicated, let him just, in the next time that Kanu will be in court, release him unconditionally, immediately. If you refrain from dismissing all outstanding charges against Nnamdi Kanu for lack of jurisdiction, you will be legally implicated in the crimes perpetrated by the government of Nigeria in bringing Nnamdi Kanu before your tribunal. This American lawyer is educating OMOTOSHO. Somebody say, Biafra will never die. You will be vulnerable to prosecution before the International Criminal Court. This is a warning. This is a warning to OMOTOSHO. This is a warning to TINUBU. You will be vulnerable to prosecution before the International Criminal Court. You will have been unfaithful to your professional duty to see that justice is done. The Nigerian government has maintained that Nnamdi Kanu faces terrorism-related charges before the Federal High Court in Abuja, though his lawyers insist that his abduction and forced transfer from Kenya under the entire prosecution rendered the entire prosecution illegal. The same thing that Bruce Fein is now re-echoing. The letter from Bruce Fein comes amid ongoing standoff in Kanu's trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The IPOB leader has refused to enter his defense because Kanu is saying the same thing Bruce Fein is saying. He said, how can you tell me to enter defense when I don't see any case, any legal case against me? All the cases you are bringing against me is not legal. It's not according to the law. You have absolutely no case against me. The IPOB leader has refused to enter his defense, insisting that the court lacks jurisdiction to try him because of his extraordinary rendition from Kenya in June 2021. What Nigerian court is supposed to do is to kindly return Nnamdi Kanu from where they brought him. Kanu's legal team has maintained that since his rearrest and forcible return to Nigeria violated both domestic and international law, any subsequent proceedings amount to an abuse of court processes. His special counsel, Barrister Eloy Ejimako, has consistently argued, remember, that because of the peaceful protest, I hope America is watching, TINUBU's government put their hand and arrested Eloy Ejimako, a man that is in his 70s, took him to Kuje prison where the man fainted, collapsed. He was later that he came back and he was later released. They also arrested Showore. They also arrested Nnamdi Kanu's younger brother. They also arrested some other people that were peacefully protesting. You see why some people call Nigeria some names. His special counsel, Nigerian counsel, Barrister Eloy Ejimako, has consistently argued that the government disobedience of multiple court orders, including those granting bail and directing his release, further stripped the court of its moral and legal authority in this matter. Justice Bintan Yako, who has presided over earlier phases of the trial, had ruled that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must stand trial despite his objection, prompting appeals and renewed motions challenging jurisdiction. The case was further transferred to Justice James Omotosho for further proceedings. Kanu has remained in the custody of the Department of State Services (DSS) in Abuja since June 2021, when he was renditioned to Nigeria from Kenya. That's extraordinary rendition or extraordinary kidnapping by the Nigerian authorities, an action a Kenyan court has ruled against. Yes, this is the truth Nigerian government doesn't want to hear. A court in Kenya has come out to rule against that action that the Nigerian government took inside Kenyan soil. His continued detention and the Nigerian government handling of his case has drawn widespread criticism, both local and international, from human rights organizations and international observers, including Amnesty International. Fein, a former United States Associate Deputy Attorney General, continued to represent Mazi Nnamdi Kanu internationally and has repeatedly called for sanctions against Nigerian officials over alleged violation of international law. So, Nigerian government most likely could be sanctioned for violating international laws. Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. He's not the kind of person that can just be arrested and Nigeria will go scot-free. So keep demanding for what is right, the attention of the world. These things we are doing online. This free Nnamdi Kanu, you are typing, sharing these videos, talking, praying, all of them are culminating in bringing the attention of the international community. And we hope that very soon, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will regain his freedom. If you have not liked this video, click on like. If you have not joined, click on join to become a full member of our channel. Share this video. Yes, this is the kind of video you must share. This is the kind of video you must share. Share this video, and most importantly, there's another important video on the screen. You can see it. You can see this important video on the screen. Click on it and watch now.